Hello everyone, welcome to my brand new Let's Play series of Fallout New Vegas. I'm Colonel RPG, and I'm very happy to have you here with me as I play Fallout New Vegas. Well, that's what you're here for, isn't it? So this is the second time I'm finishing the game, because obviously, well, at the time of recording, obviously, I haven't finished the game, but I will be finishing it, and I will also be streaming it. That's the way this particular Let's Play is gonna work. So basically, every Tuesdays and Thursdays at the time of recording, anyway. Maybe that the time will change, but every Tuesdays and Thursdays, a 10 p.m. GMT. I got a link for you in the description for my Twitch channel. That's where I stream New Vegas, and what I do with that footage is I edit it all into this Let's Play. So I'm the me right now who's talking right now is talking after the footage that you're just gonna observe and after the commentary that you're just gonna observe. So I'm just recording the intro because what is about to happen is all, you know, edited from the Let's Play. So hopefully you enjoy it. It's Fallout New Vegas, the best Fallout game. Maybe not my favorite, but let's find out if I change my opinion, because Fallout 1 is my favorite so far. But maybe this new playthrough is gonna change my opinion. Yeah, let's get on with it. Start a new game. This will overwrite your autosave if present. No kidding.
War never changes. When atomic fire consumed the Earth, those who survived did so in great underground vaults. When they opened, their inhabitants set out across the ruins of the old world to build new societies, establishing villages, forming tribes. As decades passed, what had been the American Southwest united beneath the flag of the new California Republic, dedicated to old world values of democracy and the rule of law. As the Republic grew, so did its needs. Scouts spread east, seeking territory and wealth in the dry and merciless expanse of the Mojave Desert. They returned with tales of a city untouched by the warheads that had scorched the rest of the world, and a great wall spanning the Colorado River. The NCR mobilized its army and sent it east to occupy Hoover Dam and restore it to working condition. But across the Colorado, another society had arisen under a different flag. A vast army of slaves forged from the conquest of 86 tribes, Caesar's Legion. 4 years have passed since the Republic held the dam, just barely, against the Legion's onslaught. The Legion did not retreat. Across the river, it gathers strength. Campfires burn, training drums beat. Through it all, the New Vegas Strip has stayed open for business, under the control of its mysterious overseer, Mr. House, and his army of rehabilitated tribals and police robots. You are a courier, hired by the Mojave Express to deliver a package to the New Vegas Strip. What seemed like a simple delivery job has taken a turn. for the worse.
You got what you were after, so pay up.
You're crying in the rain, Pally.
Guess who's waking up over here?
Time to cash out.
Will you get it over with?
Maybe cons kill people without looking them in the face. But I ain't a fink. Dig? You've made your last delivery, kid. Sorry you got twisted up in this scene. From where you're kneeling must seem like an 18-carat run of bad luck. Truth is, the game was rigged from the start.
You're awake. How about that? Whoa, easy there, easy. You've been out cold a couple of days now. Why don't you just relax a second? Get your bearings. Let's see what the damage is. How about your name? Can you tell me your name?
I can tell you my name. Marty is my name.
I can't say it's what I'd have picked for you, but if that's your name, that's your name. I'm Doc Mitchell. Welcome to Goodsprings. Now, I hope you don't mind, but I had to go rooting around there in your noggin to pull all the bits of lead out. I take pride in my needlework, but you'd better tell me if I left anything out of place. How'd I do?
How about this? I think that's Marty. Got shot to the head. Are you sure you want to be this? Wait, you want this to be your character? Yes.
Well, I got most of it right anyway. Stuff that mattered. Okay. No sense keeping you in bed anymore. Let's see if we can get you on your feet. Good. Why don't you walk down to the end of the room? Over by that vigor tester machine there. Take it slow now. It ain't a race.
Oh my god, it is a race. Look at how fast I move. Can I walk? Yes, I can.
Ooh, looking good so far. Go ahead and give the vigor tester a try. We'll learn right quick if you got back all your faculties.
I am sure I have. So one of the things that Bethesda was really obsessed with, I feel, with Fallout 3, was making sure that new players, or not that new players, that Bethesda players would feel okay with creating a character with a lot of complicated attributes right at the beginning. And so what they did in Fallout 3 is they made the special book, where it's basically an easier to use version than this, because this one is actually pretty difficult to use. And like you go through all of that sort of stuff, and at the end of the day, not at the end of the day, but at the end of the day, what am I talking about? At the end, you see all of your stats over here, and they really leaned in on the special. I like that. Like, it's sort of weird. Bethesda had some really weird ideas every once in a while, but they really leaned in on the special. And of course, I'm talking about Bethesda because this is done by Obsidian, but it is influenced by what Fallout 3 was, and also what people expected of Fallout New Vegas, considering what Fallout 3 was. But I played Fallout 1 and 2 many times over, and I never realized that the stats spelled special. I didn't follow the news about development of Fallout. I didn't know that the original Wasteland, which Fallout is based on, had a system called Classic, and it's based on GURPS directly. Fallout eventually had to drop Classic because GURPS didn't allow Fallout to use the system. The company that owned GURPS at the time didn't allow Fallout to use the system because Fallout was too gory, and Interplay wanted Fallout to be gory, and GURPS just went, no, if you're gonna be gory, you're not gonna use our system. And they were like, oh yeah, well, I'm gonna make a better system then, and they made a better system, and it's called Special, and let's go with it. Let's see what I'm gonna end up having. And there we go. Let's review indeed.
Huh. Must be some frontal lobe damage. Well, we know your vitals are good, but that don't mean them bullets didn't leave you nuttered and a bighorn dropping. What do you say you take a seat in my couch and we go through a couple of questions? See if your dogs are still barking.
What you mean there must be a frontal lobe damage? I'm good and smart, I think.
All right. I'm gonna say a word. I want you to say the first thing that comes to mind. Dog.
And this is the other thing. They really think that character creation is about answering questions. And it isn't. It's about managing stats, because that's the fun. So none of this. We don't do this.
I don't have nothing to compare it to, so maybe you'd better just have a look at the results. See if it all seems right to you.
This is what I mean. We can just skip over here and unselect all the things. And what are we gonna go with? So yeah, I'm gonna stick with speech, survival, and unarmed. We're gonna be punching a lot of people to death and then talking to them about things.
Before I turn you loose, I need one more thing from you. I got a form for you to fill out so I can get a sense of your medical history. Just a formality. Ain't like I expect to find you got a family history of getting shot in the head.
And this is the traits system, which is something that they dropped in Fallout 3 because they were very scared, as I was talking about before. They were very scared of scaring the Bethesda players. And just like, no, we don't need traits, we just have perks. Once every level up. In this game, I think it's once every 2 level ups, the perks. But what are we gonna go with? Well, Wild Wasteland. That's something I want to do, because it's very interesting and I think it's good for a Let's Play. And Skilled. That's what we're doing. So we're gonna get more skill points, but less experience. And of course, Wild Wasteland unleashes the most bizarre and silly elements of post-apocalyptic America. Not for the faint of heart or a series of temperament. So it's gonna be fun.
All right, I guess that about does it. Come with me, I'll see you out.
Will you see me out? It's got a lovely house with all the scorched books, and it's ooh, a pre-war hat. Don't mind if I do. And pre-war books that you can't read. So wait just a little bit. We have crutches and stuff. So I can take all of his stuff. Expired steam pack. Yeah, I'll take those. Yeah, if you can't take things, or rather, if the stuff is owned, it gets marked as red. Look at that. Doctor's bag. Those things are important. Sunset sarsaparilla. That's also pretty important. And a broken 10mm SMG. Can I not fix that? This 9mm submachine gun is broken, but can possibly be restored. Like that. Getting experience already. Look at me. MedX. Yeah, it's pretty good. Sorry, Doc. Hi.
Here, these are yours. Was all you had on you when you was brought in. I hope you don't mind, but I gave the note a look. I thought it might help me find a next of kin. But it was just something about a platinum chip. Well, if you're heading back out there, you ought to have this. They call it a Pip-Boy. I grew up in one of them vaults they made before the war. We all got one. Ain't much use to me now, but you might want such a thing after what you've been through. I know what it's like having something taken from you. And put this on too, so the locals don't pick on you for lacking modesty. Never was much my style anyway.
Don't worry about it. Thanks for patching me up, Doc.
Don't mention it. It's what I'm here for. You should talk to Sunny Smiles before you leave town. She can help you learn to fend for yourself in the desert. She'll likely be at the saloon. I reckon some of the other folks at the saloon might be able to help you out too. And the metal fella, Victor, who pulled you out of your grave. Anyway, you ever get hurt out there, you come right back. I'll fix you up. But try not to get killed anymore.
Get killed anymore. Fallout New Vegas allows you to play in a new hardcore mode that greatly increases the challenge of the game. It doesn't greatly do it, but I will do it. And now, ain't that a kick in the head? All the quests in this game are named after songs. Of course, I don't know any of them songs. And now I have a Pip-Boy 2500, which is from a mod, and it looks a little bit like the Pip. It doesn't look very much like the Pip-Boy in Fallout 1 and 2, but it looks close enough, and it's basically the same thing, and it's not around the wrist. Although the game might still refer to the game might still refer to the Pip-Boy as being worn around the wrist. So we have our weapons, our apparel, I believe. We have a jumpsuit for Vault 21, that's where Dr. Mitchell comes from, and a pre-war hat that adds to my perception, because of course he does. And then we have a bunch of other stuff. Robco Pip-Boy widget. What? What if I feel the view? Oh, it's for things. It's for my things, if I want to change how the mod works and stuff like that. Okay. And ammo. Thank you. Thank you. Well, I guess we're out of here. This is something... The sun shining in our eyes. Ooh, the metal fella. The sun shining in our eyes is something that Bethesda really hyped up for Fallout 3 when it came out of the vault. And they were like trying to explain that it was the first time you were seeing the sun, which in real life would probably be very hard to acclimatize to. Dead money has been loaded. Your level cap has now been increased. Yes, because we also are playing with all the DLC, not just a bunch of mods. So, what was the name of the metal fellow over there that Dr. Mitchell was talking about? This is just a little town. I believe that's the saloon over there. We got birds. Metal fella is just... I'm gonna run after him, because obviously I am. That is the saloon over there. The on. Hey. What's going on?
Howdy, partner. Might I say you're looking fit as a fiddle?
Well, thanks for digging me out of that grave.
Don't mention it. I'm always ready to lend a helping hand to a stranger in need.
How did you happen to find me?
I was out for a stroll that night when I heard the commotion up the old bone orchard. Saw what looked like a bunch of bad eggs, so I laid low. Once they'd run off, I dug you up to see if you were still kicking. Turns out you were. So I hauled you off to the dock right quick.
Do you know who those men were? The ones who attacked me?
Can't say that I'm familiar with the rascals. Some of the fine folks in town might be able to help you out with that.
How'd you end up in Good Springs?
I moseyed into town, 10, 15 years ago. Before that, I can't quite seem to recall. Odd. Anyway, it's a right peaceful town, and I reckon it's as fine a place to settle as any.
Well, I never seen a robot like you before.
I'm a Securitron. Robco Security Model 2060B. If you ever see any of my brothers, tell them Victor says howdy.
Will do.
Happy trails!
I don't know where you're going. Actually, I think that is where we got shot. Let's look at our journal. So it is data. quests. They went that away. Inquire about your delivery assignment with the administrator of the Mojave Express, or Mojave Express, in Prim. Find the man who tried to kill you. But also, talk to Sunny Smiles in the... Yeah, I'm going to talk to Sunny in a little bit. So where does this go to? All the way to the north. No, all the way to the south. It's the other way around. Well, we're going to do that in a little bit. Let's, back in the saddle. We have little lambs over here. Howdy, partner.
Howdy. What can Easy Pete do for you?
Why are you called Easy Pete?
Was a prospector until I decided to settle here to get away from the NCR. Now we'll just take it easy and help out with the Brahmin and Bighorners.
What's wrong with the NCR?
Don't get me wrong. The NCR's got a lot of decent folk in it. It's just that they make you part of them whether you like it or not. Towns like Goodsprings and Prim don't stay independent for long. Not if you've got something the NCR wants. Still, the NCR keeps the Legion away.
So, immediately setting up the NCR as basically how they were in Fallout 2. I think it works well enough to do that. We're gonna have to throughout the game. We're gonna have to deal with how we feel about all the factions, really, but about NCR as well. And this portrayal is not very uncommon. Do you know anything about the people who attacked me?
The one in the fancy suit seemed to be calling the shots. That's as much as I know. Other folks in town might know more. Word of advice, though, if you ever catch up with him, watch out. The man's got cold eyes like a snake. Can't be trusted, I'd say.
Well, he shot me, so... You were a prospector, like digging for gold and silver?
Nah. Means I poke through old buildings looking for working tech and such. Some folks just call it salvaging, but never liked the term. Way I see it, salvage means it's broken, near worthless. Me, I look for the good stuff. Guns, chems, spare parts. Good money in it.
Did you ever find anything good while prospecting?
Nope. Had a pretty good claim once, way out east by the river, but got run off by raiders. Eventually got too old to keep going out.
Tell me about the Legion, which is one of... probably the other big faction, although there's other factions.
They're slavers, led by a guy named Caesar. Or Caesar. Not sure how you're supposed to say it. A couple of years ago, they tried to take over Hoover Dam, but the NCR beat them back. The NCR didn't or couldn't finish the job, though. The Legion's got its strength back and is getting ready for another round at the dam. My money's still on the NCR winning, but you never know. We've been hearing stories about legionaries on the Nevada side of the river, so keep a gun handy. You don't want to get caught by them.
What's so important about Hoover Dam, anyway?
The dam powers a lot of New Vegas, and then there's all that clean water lying in Lake Mead, too. Anybody who owns the dam owns the territory.
Is that true, though? If it powers New Vegas, I don't remember... this is not a blind playthrough, obviously, but I don't remember the details, and of course I can appreciate how the game sets things up, even though I do know how some things work. And right now it's setting things up as New Vegas being controlled by the NCR, because they control the dam right now. Do you know anything about Victor?
The machine? Harmless, no matter what Trudy says. She thinks it's hiding something, but I think it's just a broken-down relic with no place to be.
Trudy, huh? What do you use the Bighorners for?
Meat and hide, mostly. Can't put a pack on them. You just lay down until you take it off. Can find a bunch of wild ones high up in the hills, but gotta be careful around them. They can put up a decent fight if cornered.
I bet they can. Goodbye.
Keep your gun handy if you go poking around some of the abandoned places around here, like the schoolhouse. Critters move in there sometimes.
Thanks for the tip. The schoolhouse is down that ways. We'll visit. Look at a tumbleweed over here. They move. They just don't. They're not moving right now. I think that one might be stuck. Let's go in to the saloon.
Cheyenne, stay. Don't worry. She won't bite unless I tell her to.
Dr. Mitchell said this is Sunny Smiles, by the way. Dr. Mitchell said that you could teach me to survive in the desert.
Yeah, I guess there's a thing or two I could show you. Sounds like you need all the help you can get after what they done to you. Meet me outside, behind the saloon.
Doggy! Off she goes. The flashing arrow on your compass shows the location of your objective. Yes, it does. Excuse me.
Howdy.
Howdy. She's a proprietor, right? Let's have a drink. No rads here. And one of the things that we're, well, going to have a little bit of care about is precisely drinks. So if I look at effects over here. Wait. Am I not playing in hardcore mode right now? I think I'm not playing in hardcore mode right now. I'm not playing in hardcore mode. I'm very sorry about that. Now we can drink. So what a hardcore mode adds, besides certain things like ammo weighs and there's it has weight, I should say, and some other stuff. It adds these meters. So when you go out in the desert, you need to be careful. So right now we have them all at 0 because I played with not a hardcore mode for a little while, but it's not a problem. And basically that means that survival is actually a skill that you need, because otherwise you don't need to eat, apart from actually healing from food, because that's what food is for. Got shot in the face? Worry not. Eat this box of things. Anyway, let's go back. Back outside. Hi. Again. What are you looking at?
Now, see the sarsaparilla bottles on the fence there? Take this and try to hit a couple of them.
They weren't there. They weren't there. I looked. You are fooling around. This is the tutorial is what it is. Ooh, we actually equipped the varmint rifle. And I'll go get ahead of you and crouch and aim down the sights.
That's the right idea. Look down the sight.
That's what I'm doing.
Try crouching down and staying still. It'll help your aim.
That's what I'm doing.
Nice shot. Well, that's a start. But I don't reckon you came to me to learn to fight sarsaparilla bottles. Tell you what, I gotta go chase geckos away from our water supply anyway. Darn critters are attracted to it. Why don't you come along?
Okay, I'm in.
Follow me. It's just down to the southeast a short ways.
Yes, it's also gonna be everybody's death if we're not careful. So, boxing gloves inflicts fatigue damage for a knockout. I don't want that. I will punch these geckos to the death. This is actually pretty difficult because the geckos are pretty wild. And she's going for them. Oh, she's going for them. And now we're going out into an adventure, or on an adventure into the desert. I need to not keep track, or to not lose track of her. Let's actually, we can zoom out a little bit, but not too much. Oh, can walk backwards just as fast. That's good.